Welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast, where two lifelong horror fans talk all things horror. Pour yourself your favorite drink and hang out. Here are your hosts, Josh and Jake.
Hey guys, welcome to the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
And on today's exciting episode, what movie are we going to be discussing, sir?
We are discussing 2013's All Hallows Eve, directed by Damien Leone.
We got Terrifier 3 coming out this week. When this episode drops, Terrifier 3 will be available. This is, I guess, technically the first time that Art the Clown is featured in a film. Technically speaking, the short that he's in this movie was a short outside of this movie called The Ninth Gate. Or the Eighth Gate, Ninth Gate, something like that. And it was a YouTube short. It's like 12 minutes. But it's the exact same thing we get from this movie. So, yeah, first time we get Art the Clown, and now he's on 3 solo movies with a 4th one to come. So I'm excited to talk about Jake's request to do All Hallows Eve.
Sure, we can mention that. That's fine.
But before we get into All Hallows Eve from 2013,
Yep.
what would we like to let anyone new or who haven't done yet know?
As always, like and subscribe on YouTube.
Pretty, please.
We're available only on Apple and Spotify.
That's it.
You also find us, though, on Instagram. J Square Horror Podcast. Link tree in the bio. New episodes every Thursday.
Every Thursday, 2 lifelong horror fans decide to drink and talk about all things horror. Sometimes it's fan requests. Sometimes it's themes. Sometimes it's movies that we've just wanted to talk about, or movies that just pop into our head and we say, fuck it, we're going to cover it. So if you're at all interested on becoming a part of the J Squared Horror Podcast, you can always go to www.jsquaredhorrorpodcast.com. There you can request an episode idea. You can request to be on the episode. Or if you have a place where you'd like for us to do trivia, you can also apply for that there. Some really cool news. We're going to be at an event here locally at Back Bay Brewery at the oceanfront on October 19th. It is going to be an art show and costume party. So if you guys want to do that, check out our website. We have a pop-up that pops up that lets you know all the information there. And we got some exciting news at the end of this episode. So stick around to the end of this episode to hear that. But we are about to get started.
Oh, boy.
On All Hallows Eve. So we're going to do our normal, new to us, but normal likes, dislikes, favorite kills, and then our ratings of the movie. That's a good burp.
You always burp directly into the mic.
Yeah. Fuck it. It's a drinking podcast. And that was like a Barney from The Simpsons burp. I couldn't keep that from the fans. That was a good one in my opinion. Was it too much?
I wouldn't say too much.
Okay, clearly you're upset by it.
I'm not upset. Just why you would like directly into it. That's all.
I mean, it was happening. I was still talking.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could have done something like that, I guess.
Yeah. Exactly that, actually.
I have a feeling. My gut's telling me. Since it's the likes and dislikes, that your likes are going to be very few and far between.
Why do you say that?
The vibe I'm feeling about you and All Hallows Eve. Now, is this we kind of mentioned it last week. Is it technically a found footage film or not? Because it's found footage in the movie, but is it still considered found footage?
No. To me, no. I mean,
you could express on that a little bit. No.
Could you elaborate on it? Well,
that was the fucking word I was looking for. Express yourself.
I mean, to me, no. I feel like it has a certain look to it when it's found footage.
You're thinking found footage is specifically like handheld camera operated.
Yeah.
Whole movie.
Not like the actual term.
Yeah.
This footage was found by someone.
Yeah.
Which I guess, I don't know. Is VHS found footage?
Yeah. Because they're finding footage in the movie.
Okay, fine. It's found footage. Whatever.
But no, I see what you're saying, though. Because a traditional found footage film is shot from a camera person like we would. Yeah. Like, that's the whole point in it. So I wonder if it's like a sub found footage.
It may be.
Yeah.
Either way. So I'll start by saying this. So 2 weeks ago, I watched All Hallows Eve 2. And if you guys are new to the channel, that happens quite a bit.
What are you notorious for?
For watching a part 2.
Yep.
And then thinking I wanted to cover the original.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I watch it, I'm like, yeah, this is not what I wanted to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we record, and I have no interest in talking about that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today is that day as well.
All right. Well, we'll fight through it our best. Do you have anything that stood out to you in this movie?
Outside of Art the Clown?
Yeah.
No.
So I'm going to use an opportunity to use a dislike as a like, which sounds counterproductive.
Okay.
But like VHS, there are multiple movies happening in the background of this movie. The plot, like what this movie's built around, just real quickly. If you haven't seen it yet, it's fucking easy to watch. Been around for almost, what is it now? 12, 10, 12. I can't do basic math. 12 years? 11 years. It is a babysitter who is babysitting these little kids, which anybody that knows slasher horror films, usually the babysitter is the main person that's going to be getting attacked, blah, blah, blah. Well, the kid gets a VHS tape in his trick-or-treat bag, and they watch it, and the first one is art. The second one is what I was going to mention. So the abysmally bad Alien storyline is so ridiculously terrible that I sort of love it. It reminded me of the one we covered. Do you remember the title of it?
Which one?
The one we covered that was like a low budgeted. The girl's at home alone. She's real like artsy and cute. Kind of reminds you of like Zooey Deschanel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you go back in the analogs of J Squared Horror, we covered this one particular Alien movie that was dog shit. And this is like, I figured out why they did it. Because they watched All Hallows Eve and said, that's our basis of an entire fucking movie. It is so corny looking that, like, I can't help but love it because of how bad it is. It's one of those instances where it is so fucking bad that I'm like, I can't help but laugh and enjoy this because the aliens look corny as fuck. Their movements make no sense.
Yeah, they move real like
just
mysteriously.
Then I had a question for you.
Okay.
So we had this crazy conversation the other day. We're not going to get into it now, but we had seen some stuff about actual shit going on in space. We go on these little crazy tangents in our friendship about different scenarios and shit like that. So there's a part where he puts his hand out and a fucking tentacle comes out and it's like wiggling around.
Gross, yeah.
Do you remember this scene in here?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
I think I was so uninterested.
You just kind of stopped paying attention to that part. That sucks because I really wanted to know your feeling on that because, dude, it's like humanoid alien puts his hand out and this little 4-inch fucking octopus type thing comes out and just starts wiggling around. And I'm like, Jake's probably having a coronary right now. Because we had mentioned, a couple of things where it's like, what if they were human-like, and then what if they had this? And that's exactly what happened in this movie. It was crazy. That's terrible, but I loved it. So that's actually a like for me because it was so fucking bad that I was kind of just cackling in my seat. Where it's like, you had the first Art the Clown one, which I think we both like. Yeah. That's a like for sure. Art the Clown. This is before David Howard Thornton got the role. I think it's like David Chapipsy or some shit like that. A little thicker of a Art the Clown.
Okay.
I gotta say, I could see why Damien Leone maybe saw what David was able to do with his face and with mannerisms that made Art the Clown just take the fuck off. Because, he's creepy in this movie, but once you get Terrifier, Terrifier, you're like, oh, this clown is fucked up.
Yeah.
And this is a good, predecessor to that, obviously, because it has now sparked what's going to be a four movie franchise off of a clown that there's no backstory.
So I like the overarching story with the babysitter.
Yeah.
In between.
That's actually, if that was just the movie itself, Art the Clown kind of fucking with them, I'd be okay with that.
But the whole almost like Rosemary's Baby type one we had.
Oh, that was in the 9th. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That was garbage.
That was bad.
Alien one, even though you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it, but because it was so fucking bad.
Garbage. Did not enjoy it.
Yeah.
And let's see.
The car one, which is Art the Clown.
Yeah. That was good.
That was fine.
I enjoyed that.
Because it reminded you of Terrifier.
Yeah.
The original Terrifier with the
Correct.
pizza shop and him shitting and pissing everywhere and his brutality that he has. Does Art the Clown, since, rocking the Terrifier shirt, we love Terrifier as horror fans, do you think if you were to see Terrifier, let's say when we were kids, do you think that would have kind of given you a fear of clowns?
No, because it's an unrealistic portrayal of a clown to me.
Okay.
So I get why people were younger were scared of Pennywise, like the 90s version of Pennywise. Yeah. He looked like regular clown.
Yeah.
You can tell.
This is a fucked up clown.
Art is fucked up.
Yeah. He just looks like it. Yeah, man. So the one where the girl is, it reminded me of fucking Urban Legend when the girl's at the gas station.
Great movie.
Yeah. No. When the girl's at the gas station and didn't heed the warning of the gas clerk. Now this one's a little different, but for some reason, obviously, similar movies always pop into my head in that situation. And I feel like this came out in 2013. It comes across as an early 2000s movie.
100%.
It does not come across post-10s at all.
No, it doesn't.
And I think probably a lot of that's got to be the budget. Damien Leone, the one thing that's kind of surprisingly, so I did want to get this out real quick. George A. Romero was one of the most well-renowned, well-respected zombie directors of all time. But if you look at George A. Romero post his greats, he has dog shit movies. Yeah. Dog shit movies. Nobody was, no real good production companies were getting behind him. He was kind of having to do it all out of pocket. I think he was kind of trying to go with this certain type of storyline that just never clicked to the fan base and just didn't work out. And, one of my favorites is Diary of the Dead, which is a found footage zombie film, which you definitely took a shit on last week. But I feel like the one thing that I'm going to say, and this is going to, I don't want this to come across the way it's going to come out of my mouth, but Damien Leone has done what George A. Romero, I imagine, had always wanted to do. To have such low budget shit, but turn into such success. And never backing down from production companies, the big business people telling him to fuck off, your movies are too brutal, your movies are too disgusting. He's never turned away. He's always done it his own way. And up until Terrifier 3, he's done all the FX himself. That's insane to me. That's insane to me. This is the one we're about to get. When this episode drops, Terrifier 3 is going to be out in theaters. Yeah. We're seeing it on Sunday. But it's crazy to me that you not only can direct and create such a fucked up character that has now carried on since, 11 years. Plus more, because he is now gone on record saying that there's going to be a fourth.
Yeah,
that is going to be the final one. That is he came out of his mouth, fourth and final. But it's just crazy to me that somebody so respected and renowned couldn't do this. George A. Romero created the idea of a modern zombie and still wasn't able to cohesively get a storyline like that. And he tried. Because with movies like Diary of the Dead and the other ones that he did, he kind of started this whole, they're trying to feed him to animals and trying to trick the zombies, blah, blah, blah. Never clicked. Fan base never backed it. Production companies never backed it. And it's just crazy to me to think that, in 10 years, is this going to be the epitome of horror directing for us?
Yeah.
Is this that guy? Is he the new John Carpenter? Is he the new Wes Craven? It's hard for us as horror fans to say that because we have the GOATs. But there's something special about what Jordan Peele does, what Damien Leone's done, and some of these other guys that are just like, and Ty West. Like, these guys are creating such epic storylines and such very visually specific things. We're currently having it.
Yeah.
So we're not looking at it from these people are going to be renowned in a decade. 20, 30 years from now, people are going to be fighting for their autographs at conventions, which I'm sure they are currently. But do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, we're currently witnessing shit that younger generations are going to look back on how we look back on Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Halloween.
I agree.
It's crazy.
I agree. I feel like Art has become like an iconic.
He is huge
character at this point.
A lot of people put him on the slasher Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. And then we were at the convention.
There are
people dressed up
everywhere. Yeah. It's cool to be witnessing that. Because we covered Terrifier, and I talked about like what got me into it. It was the specific scene of like brutality where I was like, I gotta see where the fuck this came from. But I imagine like The Exorcist or like Friday the 13th and Halloween, like people probably felt that same way, maybe like 85, 86, after a couple years of it being out. Just as cool to be kind of currently living through somebody that could potentially go down as being one of the best.
And I think,
especially low budget wise.
Yeah, and I think it is good to, I guess, be introducing new directors into this list of all-time greats.
Very specific list for a lot of horror fans. Yeah. It's just cool, man, because like once again, it's like it's kind of rare that I feel like I didn't think I would witness a low-budget horror director. Like that's not something that I think was on my bingo card for being a horror fan. I felt like, because it's progressed as far as it has, the bigger budget stuff doesn't hit like the lower budget stuff because you're not seeing, and I love these movies, but you're not seeing Conjuring outfits. You might see some nuns.
Yeah.
You're not seeing Hereditary outfits.
Correct.
You're not seeing A24 outfits. There is something in the horror community that is so fucking special about a slasher killer.
I agree.
And it's proven, to me, it's now a fucking fact.
Yeah.
That no matter what generation, what age group, what he does, what he looks like, is there a supernatural aspect? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't care. The one thing that I give Terrifier credit for over the rest is they're not bullshitting us with backstories, and we're on number 3.
True, which is good. We have discussed before not needing backstory for slasher characters.
We're finally getting it.
Also, it's very good that now we're in an era of more, as they call it, highbrow horror.
Yeah.
It's good to know that slashers can still dominate.
Isn't it crazy?
It is, yeah.
Because like Scream, they're kind of like making fun of the fact that slashers were a thing. And yet, currently, right now, we are living through a modern slasher that is killing it in the box office.
Yeah.
It's just something that I thought about, and it's just like, it's crazy to be in the horror community like we are. And like we said, we're witnessing it at conventions. We're witnessing it on Halloween. Like, we see people dressed up. We hear people talking about it, and just the buzz and the hype around a shitty, low-budgeted character is so fucking rad to me. And I'm not saying that the other ones aren't respected, but they're not. There's a difference between like cinephobes and horror fans.
Yeah.
This is horror fans.
I would agree.
Cinephobes can like come in for the A24 stuff, the Hereditaries, the Midsommars, and the highbrow shit, and then go, yeah, see, horror's back. But there's something about a dirty, disgusting, grungy slasher movie that just like, I think it brings some of the traditionalists of horror back together and brings new ones into the fold. I think it's great to see. I give a huge tip of the hat to Damien Leone and David Howard Thornton and all these guys that they're sticking to characters. Like, David has reminded me a lot of Kane. He's found a character. He's sticking to it. He's not scared to go to these conventions. He personifies it. It's cool, man. I think it's really rad to be living in that finally. Because we always say, what would it be like if we went back? Would we have been fans? Or, what would it have been like? Yeah. We're kind of getting it.
I guess now we know.
Yeah. So we know we're true slasher family. We like that disgusting, shitty plot gore.
Yeah, I love a good slasher.
I do too, man. I do too. And, there's so many fun ones from the 80s. We've covered a bunch of fun ones, and it's just something special about this not being the slasher era. we're well beyond anybody thinking that slashers would still be relevant. Unless it's the remade, regurgitated bullshit that we keep getting. Halloween, Scream, potentially Friday the 13th.
One day.
Yeah. And a lot of us are here for that. We're not mad about it, but it is cool to have an original character, original story that's so low budgeted like this. Yeah. It excites the inner horror nerd in me. Were you ever a babysitter?
No.
Yeah, we're dudes.
I don't think anybody, when I was growing up, I know something I would love to leave my kids with.
Jake.
I feel like he's a responsible teenager.
Dude, it took my sister until I was in my mid-20s to trust me with my nephew. She was like, you know what? He can walk, talk, piss, and shit. I think you got him. But the thing is it's like the dudes aren't usually, known for their babysitting skills. So for us, it's kind of hard to relate on the babysitting aspect. But we're going to try it here. How do you feel? Would you have put on that tape that a kid got in a bag of candy for the kids?
100%.
Yeah.
It's Halloween, dude.
Yeah.
We're going to re-up on some snacks. We're going to go through this candy together.
Yeah.
We're popping this movie up. But the second you guys start being fucking weird about it,
yeah,
I'm cutting it off and you're going to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. There's cliche tropes. And like Jake said, it's very the first one they watch has the Rosemary's Baby aspect on it, and anybody that knows that movie knows where we're going with that. Thank God it didn't go any farther, because it would have been a tricky, dicey movie to cover, which is crazy because art isn't known for that, and I think I'm kind of stoked that that didn't stick.
I agree.
I'm very happy that they didn't go with the witch devil being why art exists. I think art's just fucked up, and maybe that's why he left. Maybe that's why he's doing his own fucking thing because he didn't vibe with it either.
Yeah.
He's got standards.
Yeah.
I'm
not fucking with weird shit, all right?
It was a little much. You got the fucking...
I can do my own weird shit.
You got the Toxic Avenger down there just fucking them up, and it's... I could see I feel like I could see the paid homage to a lot of the classic stuff in this movie, and it's, respect is respect, but also there's that whole fucking chained in the subway thing. I'm punching those girls. I am beating the shit out of both of them. Don't respect either of their survival skills.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't like either of them. If anything, the one that made it with the girl that we met in the weird subway office suite. I didn't know those existed. I didn't know you went into a separate room to wait for your train. Usually you just kind of wait down there on the platform. Yeah. It looked like a doctor's office. I didn't like those characters at all. They were too loud.
They were too loud?
Yeah, screaming a lot.
They're scared.
Yeah, but you've been down there a minute. You know what's going on. Screaming don't work. And also, if I were them, I'd also punch the new girl. So True. It's just the whole situation was fucked up.
I wasn't feeling the new girl's attitude.
I wasn't.
She was like,
didn't really like any of those characters.
She said, how come you guys haven't tried to get out? The fuck?
Bitch, we are chained and a girl just got drugged to her death.
Yeah, we've been here for a little bit.
Yeah.
You think we tried to leave before?
Candace done got fucking pulled down the hallway to her death.
Yeah, we're not fucking with this thing no more.
Yeah. And it's brutal. Then there's a pregnant lady and there's some death.
A lot of weird stuff going on.
A lot of weird stuff. Art's already out. He's chilling. He's up there fucking around people in cars and shit. The one confusing thing also real quickly about the alien thing was when they pulled down the painting.
And it was Art?
It was Art the clown painted perfectly. I want that painting, honestly. That'd be cool to have. Now, was that like, are they going with the mist there? What are they going for there?
I don't know. So I guess her husband,
yeah, John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt,
yeah,
yep,
has been, I guess, having dreams about him.
Yeah,
and he painted him
perfectly.
So also that was the best looking Art the Clown.
So is this an anthology?
Yeah.
So this is an anthology.
Yeah.
So is it less found footage and more anthology that I'm confusing?
So I always thought of it as anthology.
Overfound.
Yeah,
okay.
even though this is technically a video they're watching, but the overarching thing is Art the Clown. in every story.
So VHS isn't.
No, VHS is found footage though.
Oh, okay. Which one am I confused? Trick or Treat. There we go. Trick or Treat's not found footage.
That's Anthology.
It's Anthology.
Yeah. But VHS, I guess, is both, I guess, because they're literally watching videos that are recorded by someone.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. There's a lot of death and dismay, but do you have a favorite kill? Or I guess dislikes? Or I guess we kind of covered it.
Yeah. Favorite kill I like is Art the Clown, but when he kills the I don't know if he's the gas
station clerk.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
Very good one.
He's really
I gotta say,
he's really like sawing the shit out of his head.
And just smiling.
I love that.
Reminds you of Terrifier in the pizza station. Or
I just want to rewatch Terrifier. Apparently,
yeah.
I didn't want to watch this.
I didn't even know there was an All Hallows Eve 2.
Yeah.
Is Art in that one a lot too?
I'm going to say no.
Okay. They kind of shoot away from Art.
It's not, because it's a different character. He has like a pumpkin mask.
Oh, I'll have to watch it, but I didn't know anything about it. Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
All Hallows Eve 2.
Yeah.
They're eating pumpkin seeds.
Okay.
And the kid died just one because he ate it, obviously.
And we're told our entire childhoods.
And the pumpkin started to grow out of him.
Yeah.
And the babysitter ate one, started to grow out of her.
Oh, maybe I have seen it.
The dog ate one.
Yeah.
Came out the dog.
Yeah.
Then the boyfriend came to see her after they're all dead. You see like the vines coming up in the window. I thought, this is what I want to see right now.
Yeah.
That one's good.
That's scarier? That's pretty creepy. That's pretty creepy.
This is better.
Yeah. I
just love a good sequel.
Yeah. Sequel. You do love a good 2.
I do.
Yeah. We found out last week too. Yeah.
So
little inside joke for anybody that heard last week's episode. Now, the overarching story, my favorite kill is also going to be gas station clerk, because you see it.
Yeah.
And it's intense.
It looks really good too.
I gotta say, the head work that he's able to do, the FX faces and decapitated heads is up there.
Yeah, because the 2 kids at the end.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Look very good. Looks just like them.
Looks just like them. Which Thanksgiving, Eli Roth Thanksgiving also did a really good job of prosthetic heads. That looked really good from the security guard.
I agree.
But the thing is, this is something funny I wanted to mention. Everybody knows, or at least most of you probably know, the basis of Terrifier 3. And a lot of people are concerned that the beginning of this movie is going to be Art the Clown murdering, unaliving, whatever you fancy people want to say these days, a child. And people are up in arms.
Okay.
About this, because he's dressed as Saint Nick. This isn't any spoiler that doesn't exist already. We have not seen this movie yet.
We've seen the trailer.
Yeah, we've seen the trailer.
Yeah.
And if you haven't yet, that's your own fucking fault. But the thing is I was thinking about that. Like, all these people are up in arms about this. Yeah, he did it 11 years ago. Yeah. He killed not 1, but 2.
Well, I think it probably...
Because children like that usually do not die in horror films. That is almost a trope in itself.
I think you're probably going to see it this time around.
Yeah, and I think that's where it's going to be why 9 people walked out of the opening or of the preview of it.
Speaking of that, I cannot imagine watching a movie and it being that disgusting, or me being that offended by it.
There's like one thing
that I got to leave.
What we don't talk about.
Well,
that would be it. That would be the only thing. Yeah, outside of that, nothing.
Yeah,
everything's on the table. It can be an infant, bro.
Now, if that was like 10 minutes into it, it was just that
I would be very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I still wouldn't leave per se.
Yeah,
but I may not be as invested.
Yeah, absolutely. Wouldn't come on the podcast. That's for sure. Yeah,
no.
Which we've gotten in those situations. The sadness and some other ones where you're just like,
you know, dance around it.
I can't imagine. I tried to hold that one in, dude. I'm sorry. I can't imagine not finishing this movie. It's fucked up, but we watch fucked up shit. Like, I still, to this day, want to see the Serbian film.
I want to know, who are these 9 people that walked out of this movie?
Yeah, I'd like to meet them. I'd like to have them on the show, all 9 of them at once.
I'm very curious. Yeah, all here.
Yeah, in this studio.
Right now.
Just stacked on top, sitting on laps. Not weird. But just trying to ask, like, you know Terrifier. He's fucked up. I mean, he sawed a chick from snatch to head, bro.
Yeah. Or the people who weren't familiar with the franchise.
Maybe, yeah. They're just like
but in that case,
people.
did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, the same
What did you expect?
He looked fucked up. He's all bloody. I hope that like you get to see him like kill a Santa Claus, like the Grinch almost. Like he's like the Grinch and he like steals Christmas. That'd be fucking cool. I hope this makes my horror Christmas list. I do.
I mean, I'm sure it will. There's a very short list when it comes to
We've tried numerous times to save the holiday horror specials.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
It's rough.
You guys don't like Scrooge.
You guys don't like Scrooge. Have a Wonderful Knife is pretty fucking abysmally bad. We covered it. Both of them. Check out our December catalog of J Squared Horror Podcast. Favorite kills, did it. Any other like major dislikes, since we just kind of talked about things throughout the movie this time?
Not really.
Yeah. Nothing really stood out as being too bad. It's just not what you wanted because you were expecting part 2.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate All Hallows Eve?
On a scale from 1 to 10, All Hallows Eve is a 4 for me.
It's very low.
Yeah.
That's very low.
What about you?
I'm going 6.
6?
Yeah.
That's very high.
No, I enjoy it. I didn't have any dislikes, really.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I don't mind this one. I think it's a perfect October movie.
Should check out part 2.
I'm going to watch it this week, actually, in preparation for being your friend.
There you go.
Something for us to talk about outside of this thing. No, I enjoy it. I think it's a perfect October movie. I think it would go perfectly well with like a trick or treat weekend and VHS part 2. Since we did that as well. Mixed up the two. We covered one, not two.
Damn.
Yeah, we do this notorious, especially with these anthology fucking movies, I guess.
Yeah.
They really fuck us up because there's so many stories you're watching.
There's a lot of stories.
You get lost in the sauce. You just think of the first one that comes to your mind and you're like, that's it.
Oh, yep.
It never is.
It's got to be the first movie.
The first one is usually the best one. Yeah, I think it's a perfect October movie. I wouldn't go out of my way to watch this like in February. It's not like a multiple a year rewatcher. So I guess
only for October.
I guess you're right. 6 is a little high after saying that. I'm gonna go 5.5. But actually 5. I'm gonna go 5. Okay. It's right middle ground.
All right.
It's nothing spectacular, but I can rewatch it. So yeah, let us know what you guys think of All Hallows Eve down in the comments on YouTube or on Instagram. Some exciting news about next week's episode.
So that's how you move them.
I did good. I did good. Next week's episode is going to be a lot of fun for us. There is an amazing local horror film that exists on YouTube. It is called The Shadowlawn Creeper. And the event that we just mentioned is hosted by the director in association with his things that he's into. But next week, we are going to have Jeff Tarkenton on the podcast, live and in person. We're going to be doing an event on the 19th with him and his team and all the local artists and vendors, and it's going to be a costume contest. So he came up to us at the convention. We shot the shit. He seemed like a real good dude. I think that the Shadowlawn Creeper is a really good fucking time. I can't wait to watch it again. Obviously, that's what we're going to be talking about some next week, but also just kind of diving in to what it's like being local, being a director, and all the ins and outs of that, because it's something that intrigues the both of us. Also try to slide in maybe for a next movie. You know how the J Squared guys do.
I would love to play a news anchor.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Allow me to have like the breaking news of what's going on in the city.
Did we just pop up?
Yeah. I would love that.
Yeah. Or I guess you didn't say us. You just said you. That's cool. No, it's fine. Weekend update? No, fuck me. You just said you wanted to be a news anchor. I'll be the Veronica Cordingstone to your Ron Burgundy.
That's fine, yeah. We should both be news anchors.
I can't clarify. I got her name right.
Yeah, that was good.
That was insane.
You were awful with names.
Terrible with names. But yeah, we're super excited to have him on the show. It's always good to have somebody here in the studio live and in person. I can't wait to introduce him to our fans. If you haven't seen Shadowlawn Creeper yet, go check it out on YouTube. Give it a like, give it a share, pimp it out to everyone. It's a good time, perfect for this time of year. I think it's going to be a good time. How are you feeling about it, man?
I'm excited. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah.
And the event's going to be even better.
Yeah, yeah. So if you want to dress up and you want to get your drink on and you want to come hang out with awesome artists and us, Back Bay Brewery at the oceanfront, October 19th from 7 to midnight. We're going to be there. We're going to have a table set up.
7 to
we'll
midnight.
Be dressed up. Yeah, we are, baby. It's party time.
Hey, okay.
Fun.
I know that late.
Yeah, baby. It's a party. It's legit a party. I'm going to be sharing some videos. I shared one this week, but we'll be sharing stuff up and coming for that. But yeah, words can't express how excited we are for the event and to have Jeff on the podcast talking about his movie and his directing. So let us know if you're excited about that in the comments as well. Anything else that we might have forgotten to mention or that you wanted to mention before we sign off this week?
Nothing I can think of. What about you?
Just to give a shout out to our main supporters.
Oh, okay.
As always, Jeff Balance does our design work. Anything you see in between us on YouTube, anything you see on our social medias, anything on the J Squared merchandise, that is done by Jeff Balance himself. This upcoming event, we will be selling prints of his at the art show. So if you like anything that he has, we're going to be selling some cool stuff. So come check out our table. It's not just going to be us sitting there talking. But yeah, I love Jeff Balance and all the work he does. I was kind of hoping he could come out, but it doesn't sound like he can. A humongous shout out. I got tied up last week. I forgot to mention motherfucking Lucky Riggs, man. Lucky Riggs does our intro and our outro music, man. We hit him up. He knocked it out of the park. It's something that Jake unfortunately has to hear me scream in his ear near him at least twice a week. Fits our podcast well. These guys have been supporting us since day fucking one. So round of applause for those guys. They're awesome. Yeah. Big shout out to all of our fans, new, long-term, all of you guys. We love you and appreciate you guys so much. Keep sharing us, keep commenting. It feels great to be back.
It really does.
Words can't express it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the J Squared Horror Podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Jake.
You guys have a great week, and always remember, it's hip to be squared.